back off commercial. That was Kendrick Lamar in King Kunta. Colin, I'm sure you like that song. Who's your favorite hip hop artist?
Ooh, man, you want me to do top 5 real quick? Can I run it off?
Yeah, just write it off because we got a
Biggie,
call.
Pop. I'm going 3K.
Old school.
Oh yeah, and I might go Slim Thug. Ooh, and maybe one of the Ghetto Boys. And I'm done.
Woo!
One of the Ghetto Boys.
One of the Ghetto Boys.
Scar.
Yeah.
All right, so we got the caller on the air. So I hear the caller. Right. So we got the caller on there. Caller, are you there? Who is this? Hey, Rich, we were just talking about you. We got Billy Sharp and Colin Jackson in the building along with the Queen with the Gold Mic. We were just talking about, we read your article in Cleveland.com about Chantel Brown. Would you want to elaborate on that? Give us a couple of minutes to talk about that. Mm-hmm. Right. She's actually on the ballot. Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You, I. Right. Right. So here's it. I have a. Hold on, just a second. I have an issue with the sample. I think me and Jay have an issue with the sample ballots. So we always had an issue with the sample ballots, no matter where they came from. So yeah. So I'll just. Right. Exactly. Right. Right. Party make. Right. Mm. Mm. Mm-hmm. Right. Oh, not not even their county council or city council. I understand that. Yes. So, right. So you've done it. So I got to give you kudos on your article. I know you got some backlash from it, and so you followed up with the backlash. So we're going to talk about rules and regulations. Now, Urban League Guild, Billy, Colin, y'all have rules and regulations exactly to be a member of the Urban League Guild. So, as not to comment on what he wrote about, she's a county council person, Chantel Brown, but to comment on what Dr. Montgomery said about voter apathy. It like and census, like y'all dealt with the U.S. Census, y'all also deal with voting drives in the Urban League Guild. Y'all like Colin, you're a millennial. How bad is it? How bad is the voter apathy?
So I'll put it like this: if you wanted to catch a fish and you walk in the middle of the desert, you wouldn't catch a fish. And that's how I feel about millennial voters. I feel like the way we try to access millennial voters, we try to kind of manipulate them. Mm-hmm. We try to TikTok dance. Mm-hmm. We try to subliminal message to them. Mm-hmm. And it's really the same thing with African American voters. If you see what happened in this last election, they were doing some stuff to get us to watch that was just horrible. But the point is that, I think for us, and this is a challenge for us and many legacy organizations, is how do we engage this new community in something that we need to be working on, which is voting. Right? And for right now, it's definitely going to be social media, and these virtual events are definitely a way you can get millennials, because they'll sit in front of their computer to do anything. 5-hour Netflix or 2 hours learning about my local city council candidates. Yes. Those are two things that they can easily exchange.
Right. So
okay. So and this is where I normally get a little upset. So
not you. Are you gonna hit it with it? You gonna hit it with it?
Because we sit in these rooms and we sit around in meetings, and we never come to the grips that maybe the general.
We got another call coming. Hello.
No, that's Richard.
Okay.
That's
Doc Montgomery. Hello. Yeah. We do have. Do we? T-Rex, we got another call. Okay. So Billy was talking about. Go ahead, Billy, and finish your point.
We never come to grips that maybe the general public is not concerned with politics. We give a lot of reasons why people don't vote, why young people don't vote. I'm in the trenches. Colin's in the trenches. People have so much to deal with that maybe they just really don't truly care about politics. As much as people use gimmicks and bring in big artists and all of that, they may not really just care. So now we, as leaders, have to figure out now, how do we get to the person that doesn't give a you-know-what about politics? They don't care about a councilman, the mayor, governor, whoever.
So let me follow with you, Billy. That's why we need to do both food banks and political forums as the Urban League Guild. Because maybe you come for a food bank one week, and then you come for the political forum. Go ahead, Doc.
Go ahead, Doc.
There you go.
Oh,
there you go.
The curriculum. Really?
Yeah.
Get dog.
Yeah, because they don't be doing shit.
Yeah.
Very much. Right. Right. I, I, I,
And that's the thing, Dr. Montgomery, you're absolutely correct. We need to go back to teaching civics, and we need to go back to teaching government in schools. Because I remember growing up, and I remember taking a government class, and my government teacher was Miss Fisher, God rest her soul. When I left out of her class, I had an A. I had an A plus in her class. And she told me, she said, Price, one day your voice is going to change the trajectory of this country. Don't you ever let nobody tell you that you can't do something.
right.
You smart. You got a voice, and I'm gonna need you to use it.
Right. So,
Use your
But
voice.
the question is, if that teacher hasn't been there, if that system's not there to educate those people coming in 10th grade, 3rd grade, or 4th grade, and things like that, what do we do now?
So we, and I've
Right.
said this before, we need to create some type of political think tanks.
right.
Urban League Guild, this is an idea for you. We need to educate the millennials. We need to educate the Y generation. We need to educate the Z generation. It's not too early to start teaching our children who are 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 years old, because 2 years from that, they're going to be voting, and they're going to be making decisions for you and I. They're going to be determining whether I get Social Security, what type of health benefits I get. They're my decision makers. They may not be my children, but they are my decision makers.
Right.
So maybe you need to have political think tanks.
I
And
want
you need to have touring.
Right, I would like to Tariq K. Shabazz is on my Facebook. He brought up some when people are in survival mode, it's difficult for them to recognize the importance of voting. Politicians don't actually listen to people, they just care about their vote. And he also said the conditions are mentally debilitating, and we are looking at voter apathy as the underlying condition as opposed to the symptom it actually is. There's a lot going on. And what this pandemic has exposed is that how people are depressed. Yes.
You got T?
Who we got?
Another call.
All right. We got Dr.
He
Montgomery.
can stay on. He can stay on.
He can stay on. He's gonna merge it in.
Okay.
Stay on.
There's another call that's about to be merged in, Dr. Montgomery, with yours.
Well, let me expand it out further than that, just really quickly.
Yes.
Really quick, I'm gonna expand it out further than that because when I came in as president of the Urban League Guild. Now the guild is like 80 years old. The Urban League is 100 years old. I had people older than me asking me, "What is the Urban League?"
Yep.
Older than me. And so I'm saying it's more than just politics. It's where we are in our day-to-day that we're dealing with so much that we're not looking at anything outside of what is in our circle and not trying to expand our knowledge past that. When I got somebody who's 70, 80 asking me, what is the Urban League?
And we're gonna merge this call in, but I'm gonna come back to your question, Billy, and I'm gonna answer that for you.
Okay.
Where we can fix that.
The caller's on.
All right.
Bring the caller in, T.
Bring the caller in. Hello, caller? Yes, who is this? Donald Boyd, what's going on, my brother? How are you? I'm fine. What do you like to bring to this conversation? Because we're talking about voter apathy and some of the city charters and bylaws and things of that nature. We got two of the leaders of the Urban League Guild on with Colin Jackson and Billy Sharp. What do you like to add to this?
I just want to ask you some questions.
Go ahead.
So what on the college? So what type of plans do you have with
Whoa. Down. Different hat today. Different hat.
Different hat.
Not doing that today.
This is not that hat.
Appreciate you.
Are you gonna have to the thing about is, Donald? I'm going to say this: are you running for city council?
Donald.
Okay, you can come on this show. You have an open invite. You already know.
And so just right there, let me interject. This is Billy Sharp, president of the Urban League. The Urban League and the Urban League Guild are nonpartisan. So me and Colin, in this capacity, have no comment on a standing race or anybody running for office.
Exactly.
Next question.
Hello? Yes. Next, you have another question, Donald?
Yes. How do you feel that we can get the younger supporters back out to vote? How can we re-engage the younger millennials back into politics? What tactics do we have that you think that we can re-engage the youth?
Brother, that's the conversation we having right now. We trying to figure that out and a whole bunch
Right.
of other things. So
Yeah.
if you know, we both would.
Right. The thing about it is, here's just my solution. We just need more people to step up to the plate as far as, first of all, we need to get government back in school. So Eric Gordon of Cleveland Public School District, since you're the president, you might want to put that curriculum back in there because I had it when I was in school. So second of all, there has to be a program to where people can teach government, a non-profit to teach government.
And it's not necessarily teaching. Right.
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 If you
Right.
right, that's not most.
Right.
And they've been.
Oh, I saw that comment.
Right.
I saw that. Well, And
uh,
and that's where that emotional. And see, and you're
all right. We under. Okay. Right. I understand that. Go ahead, Jay.
and that's where that emotional. You're voting on the emotional platform and not the intellectual platform. But I want to go back to what Billy said about people coming to him and saying to him that no one knows what the Urban League is. And that's not just the Urban League's issue. That's a lot of the issues with all of our entities that are ran by African American leaders. Because we have lost the branding effect. We have gotten away from what the mission is of these organizations. We become complacent in not getting out here, boots on the ground, and being in the trenches and doing what we need to do. Because there's no way that someone that's 70 years old should be asking you about an organization that's 100 years old and saying, well, what do they do? Where are they at? Where are they located? No, that's a mishap or a misfire on the agency or the organization, because the branding is not there and the organization is not doing what it needs to do to touch the people that need to know who they are. That ain't just the Urban League issue.
I was
That's
just
all
getting ready
of
to say,
them.
let me just say this. That's organizations across the board because we've gotten too tied to corporate money
Exactly.
to get funding.
Yep.
And I'm saying this as everybody who leads these organizations.
Yep.
We've moved away from the day-to-day operations that we need to do for the underserved and disenfranchised. That's why
Right.
we are out in the community
I'm-
dealing with those people.
And I'm about
And
to.
we're taking the agendas of these companies that are giving us money, and we're running their agendas instead of running the agenda
of
that is
the-
outlined in the bylaws and the missions of the organization. And these people that are funding us have now made it to where it's all about them and what they want to see done, and not what we know.
Not the
needs to get
agenda at hand. I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna call out the oldest entity ever, the Black Church, the African American Church. Some of you pastors, and I don't care if anybody that I go to church with gets offended by what I'm about to say. I'm just gonna say it. Some of you pastors have been so damn greedy that you forgot about the people that you're supposed to serve and don't put the information out there about the urban league. The thing about it is you should be working together to make sure that your people, tithe-paying people, are getting the opportunities they need instead of lining your own motherfucking pockets with the money that you get from these corporations. And I don't care who gets mad at me or not. The thing about it is I'm not going to hold my tongue for anybody.
So Larry, I'm glad you threw that ball in there. I'm gonna hit that one too. The reason why is because the Urban League, National Action Network, and NAACP are not paying to go in churches. If we were paying, we'd be up there speaking in the pulpit.
That's the problem. You shouldn't have to pay if you're giving information out to the people. You're giving out information to the people about jobs, about career opportunities that can change their lives and make them more susceptible to pay. How you gonna get blood from a turnip? People can't pay their tithes, they can't pay their rent.
So the guild has been out in the community, going to different food banks, handing out PPE. If the guild said that we had a $50,000 grant we was giving away, every church in the community would be calling us saying,
Yep.
how can we get that money?
Yep, absolutely.
I think my mic was cut off.
No, it wasn't
I
good.
think
it's But Billy, you're absolutely correct. And Larry, I'm going to touch on this as well. These churches have become money pits. You're not coming outside of your four walls unless you are doing it for self. A lot of these pastors are self-serving, self-centered, and they're very arrogant, and they're suffering from the whip-em. What's in it for me, and how can I further my agenda and get money so I can pay for this Cadillac that I pull up here every Sunday morning in the church parking lot and get tithes from everybody. But when the people in the church need your help, you do not help them, but you help yourself every week when you get paid from that money that they just collected on that Sunday. So these pastors have done the black people a disservice. They've done a disservice to us.
Certainly when your church has an ATM in the lobby.
That's crazy.
The thing about
One
it,
didn't have no ATM.
the thing about it is, why.
I know a lot of people ain't gonna like it, but hey, certainly when your church has an ATM.
The thing about it is, that's why Jesus put out that whip. You are not going to be doing stuff in my Father's house. Like Jesus put out that whip and start whipping the merchants and whipping their ass. Y'all forgot about that. They forgot about that, didn't they? They don't tell you that in Sunday service.
We're in a generation of people that suffer from the whip 'em. Once again, I'm gonna say it again.
What's in it for me?
The whip 'em. What's in it for me? People have forgotten that we are our brother and sister keepers. We are supposed to be servants when we are elected into these positions. We are supposed to serve God's people. And if God give us the authority to be the ruler over certain things, we ought to take heed to that and rule within what God has given us so that we can take care of those that are less fortunate than us and not look down on them. That's the issue that we have in this country, especially in the black community.
Right. So
we don't want to reach back, and as the old folks say, we don't reach back and pull the rest of them over the scratch line with us.
Right.
When we get over the scratch line, you stay back there because I don't want you up here with me because you can't get up here because then that means you're going to have just as much as I do. We need to start pulling our own people over the scratch line. Just like somebody pulled you over the scratch line, you reach back and grab some more and pull them over the scratch line so we can get to where we need to be as a people so we can change the narrative and the trajectory of our communities.
Joy, I'm going to just add on to that really quickly. A lady I know has a college degree. She did her 4 years or whatever. And we were talking about this some years ago, talking about raising the minimum wage in the city of Cleveland to $15 an hour. Now, everybody knows I'm affiliated with McDonald's. And so her comment was, why should somebody at McDonald's make $15?
Why not? What? Oh, Why not?
That
What
goes
are
to
you?
the point that you just said.
What is your point about dipping in everybody's pockets? This is going to get me. Now I'm about to get heated. The thing about it is everybody want to dip in everybody's pockets, but these corporations are robbing each other blind. They don't give a shit about you. The thing about it is that if you drop dead today, they'll replace you with somebody within the next hour or tomorrow. Go ahead, Dr. Montgomery, before I say something that I'm going to regret. I'm going to lose all my corporate sponsorship. Mm-hmm. Right. That's a. All right. Well, we know that that's slave mentality thinking. That's that slave mentality. I'm just gonna say that. What? Mm. I'm a right. Now you about to make me call out a football player and a conservative African American radio show host, Larry Elder, right. Like I'm just saying. Let me just say, yeah, Herschel punk ass Walker. I'm gonna need for him and his son to shut up. And Larry Elder, who has talked against reparations. Who in the hell are you to speak for me and the ADOS, the African descendants of slaves that want reparations, that need reparations, because of the simple fact of the matter is that everybody talk about African Americans need to come up by their bootstraps. How the hell you gonna come out by your bootstraps when you had no boots in the first place? You ain't had no socks in the first place. So I'm gonna need for them to shut up. I don't. We know Herschel Walker ain't been black since he won that Heisman Trophy, so I ain't letting nobody live. That's right. Well, Lil Wayne has no mind because he's.
You want to go to jail or you want to go home?
Well, like we don't care about Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne should be in rehab. We can either take our. Go ahead, Jay, before we take our last blade.
This is where the disconnect is, because when you talk about a 50 Cent or Lil Wayne or these people, they have money already. But what they were doing is they were using them as pawns, because we, and I say we, even though I don't idolize them, we idolize our superstars, our rappers. We idolize them. So when they say something, or they say I'm going to vote for Trump, or whatever the case may be, then they must be right. So they're going to have people to follow them. When we stop all this idolizing of these false prophets and we educate our minds to what we know needs to happen, and we pick up a book and we start reading, and we go back to reading the newspapers.
Self-responsibility.
Exactly.
Right.
When
Self-responsibility.
Google some research and educate yourself, educate your family, educate your children.
Right.
That's when we gotta start. We gotta start doing that.
Well, you just cut some people out.
Right. Yeah, we gotta, like we gotta go to break, Dr. Montgomery. You feel free to hang on if you want to. We gotta take this last commercial break. This is the headline Larry H. Gardner, Billy Sharp, Colin Jackson, President and Vice President of the Urban League Guild, and the Queen with the Gold Mike, Jay Price. Of course it was gonna be heated because we got people that got arrested who are in council. Idiots. We'll be right back.
It's just crazy how people idolize these rappers and they follow suit. It's like they know that we don't have a mind.
By the way, I'm off.
All right, so I'm just gonna play this song,
They know we don't have a mind.
and then we gonna come
and they
back
know we won't
because
read anything.
we only got
It's like, hey,
10
come
minutes.
on, people.
It's that self-responsibility. And I
Yeah.
think a lot of people give self-responsibility. They give those people a way out. They